All right. So you guys know we're in China, right? And we're gonna talk about some experiences that we've been having or going on lately, and we think it's not cool. So we need to bring it to our people to make them understand that what they do when we meet them in different countries is not cool. Mr. S, you want to take it from here? But you share your experience. I have my own experience because I'm really pissed off about something, and I think we have to kind of like discuss it and put it on the table today. What do you think? Let's go on.
Yeah.
Let's go on. Let's go, on. Mr.
You
S. You
you
look
you
sad.
you 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 go first. You go first.
Yeah,
Then I follow.
I can't even wait to go first. So my thing was like, I know this guy in you. I don't know, Mom about you, businessman. If you guys know you is one of the biggest commodity markets in the world, pretty much like the world, no doubt. So as usual, you have like some sales agent or sourcing agent or trading agents who help Omuba Ghana for Omuba. But then it's like sometimes if yeah that people think say buying from the Chinese people directly they will get it cheaper, and I say the Chinese are rather more truthful than their own like Ghanaian counterparts or friends or brothers and sisters here. So this guy called me one time and he was pretty like pissed off to use a more
Okay.
charitable word, but he sounded more than pissed off because he was like, Oshiala, if he meets people from Ghana, right, and he's actually trying to help because he's set up for this. He has his own business, right? He helps people buy and send back to Ghana. And this is what he's been doing for like 10 years. But every time, no, I'm not going to say every time, but sometimes so approaching people are, what they tell him is like, I mean, specifically, he said one guy told him, I don't work with black people. And he was like, okay, that was his own African Ghanaian, like, brother, but he did not even like pursue the conversation, but his thinking was like, I think they think when they talk or deal with the Chinese, they think the Chinese are more truthful, honest, or sincere in their dealings. And he said it's not like that because he does this for a living, and sometimes he's even able to get better prices for his own people. Do you know what I mean? Because Chinese know when you come from outside, you're a newbie, right? You're a rookie. You don't really know the grounds. So people like him, okay, he knows the grounds. He understands the language. He knows how to negotiate. He knows the means and ways to get things reduced to get the best prices. And the crazy part, even some of these factories, right? They don't export. So you get cheaper prices from them as opposed to those who actually have like export licenses. So you know all these tips and tricks. But it's like the Ghanaian people who come and don't want to work with him. And it's not saying everybody should work with him. But the fact that somebody says, I don't work with black people, that he means when he comes to China, he doesn't work with black people in China. He just goes directly to Chinese people. So he was pretty pissed off about it. So I want to know your take on this. For me, I also felt like it wasn't cool because my thing, like me and you, Mr. L, right? When we want people to actually, provide a service for us, we actually look for people from Ghana. So we
Mm-hmm.
can actually patronize the service for them to make some money. But in this case, it's reversed. When people travel from Ghana, they come to China, they do not want to work with the Ghanaian companies or Ghanaian communities here.
I
What,
think
what
it's
do you think
a.
the mindset is on that?
I think there's probably a history behind that comment. Maybe he's worked with some black people or Ghanaians or
Mm-hmm.
Africans in the past and maybe got swindled or cheated or something. And I would say that the language that a person use is not cool to say that I don't work with
Mm-hmm.
black people. That's a bit harsh. But I also want to be fair to the person and say I have also personally had bad experiences with
Mm-hmm.
our fellow Africans or black people, and many other people have examples as well. So maybe the person from experience thinks that it's easier to and more straightforward to deal with the Chinese rather than deal with a middleman who is black. But yes, the language a person uses is hurtful, but I think it's coming from some sort of experience they had in the past.
There is
Yeah,
a
but
saying.
besides that, like,
Listen,
okay, yeah,
listen.
yeah, take it, bro.
Let me chip in. There's a saying that
Mm-hmm.
says one knot spoils the whole, right?
Hmm.
So I've been in that position where I feel, listen, it is better to use the Chinese to have my peace of mind because I know with the Chinese, if something happens and I go to the police, he would be in hot waters, right?
Yeah,
Here,
but it's the
in
same.
our
It's the same for the
ho- ho-
companies here,
ho-
right? Even if it's an African-owned company, the same would happen to
hold
me. The
on,
law
hold
is
on,
the law here.
hold on, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
hold on. I've been in a position where I feel like, you know, sometimes our people they don't come clean, and this you are doing your business. So I expect you, if you tell me, okay, I pay 100 RMB, this and this and this will happen, or should would happen. I'll do this and this for you. At the end of the day, you should be able to do it without me stressing. right? But we have so many characters, so many people, to the extent that somebody will tell you, go screw yourself. Yes, I told you this, but because of this, and they don't communicate properly too. So there are so many things that would trigger someone, and I'm not defending those people, but it's coming from my personal experience that I've been triggered so much that I've told someone, a Ghanaian I've given huge deals to the extent that, you see, this is the main reason why I don't like using our own people, because of what happened. I cannot go into details, but it gets to a point they feel at the end of the day your things are with them. So no matter how you act or you question them, you still have to pay your money, and then before you get your stuff. And if it happens to you 1, 2, 3 times, you tend to go like, okay, there are other avenues out there. The other avenue is the Chinese, who is desperate for money because he knows he's not the only one in that business area. And this is not me saying you don't get Chinese cheating people, right? But we are talking about numbers here. And we are talking about you being a foreigner. You're a foreigner like me. And we are trying to support each other. So actually, you should be always ahead of me saying, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But our people tend to, most of our people, or some, let me put it some, I won't say most, but some of our people tend, and for me, it is the cockiness that they do it with. You understand? So, yes, maybe the person is saying it based on experience. And we all have those experiences.
Yeah, so my point that I go make, right? The point I'm making is, at the end of the day, everybody's had the experiences, but you cannot, like you said, you can't take one nut that is gone bad to speak bad about, like, the entire bucket or basket of nuts. So it's the same thing. You can say, oh, you've been scammed by a Chinese supplier, a Chinese person before. It doesn't mean you're going to be like, I don't work with Chinese, right? It sounds a bit too harsh. Then again, like I said, at the end of the day, we all struggling. Everybody's going through something. So at least give the person the chance to actually just speak to you. That's what I'm saying, right? Hear the person out. But to say that, offhand, it's just too harsh. And
Yeah, but you have to get the person to explain himself. You understand? Because, like I'm saying,
but why would you even go on to talk to a person like that? He's made it clear he doesn't work or talk to black people, whatever he said.
No, but
I just feel like we gotta comport ourselves.
No. Everybody, I'll defend this one
outside our borders.
No,
because this is just an isolated incident. But to be honest, if you be honest about it, most of our people, when they meet us outside of our borders in Ghana, they flex too much. They flex. Some even pretend they don't know you or they haven't seen you. Or, they even look away. I've seen many people. You look at them, you want to bow. The usual hey, what's up, and they even look away.
I get that one. I'm talking about, for me, it is the business, it's the experience. So it's like we are being what do you call it? You are telling me how I should react when I've been disappointed, or quote unquote, I've been disappointed. But a lot of our people back home tell me all the time, I don't want to deal with a Chinese. I don't want to deal with a Chinese. Because of the experience. So it maybe if it's a Chinese is able to explain, or the Chinese get me to explain why, he can convince me, say, okay, I'm not like them. That is the business you're doing. I've heard those things before. I don't want to deal with a Ghanaian. Why? Okay, I said, yeah, it happens. Our people, even me, it has happened to me. But I'm not like those people. So we can do business together. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Based on experience. So
let's go to Mr. Ellis had that experience before. He also paid a lot of money to this IT guy, and he got disappointed. So does that mean, Mr. You will not work with any other Ghanaian ever?
No, not really. I think we have to look at it on a case by case basis. So there are some things you want to do. Maybe the Ghanaian is the only one better placed to provide that service. So are you going to say that because you had one bad experience, you're going to let this one to go? No, then you might never get what you want. So I think that, yes, we all, when we experience some negativity from a certain group of people, in our mind, we tag them, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to swallow that. Like Sheldon will say, take your L and bounce, and then rebound to a place where you can get what you want. It is about what you want, and if the person, supply and demand, if the person can provide, and there's track record, there's evidence that the person can provide, why not? But putting everyone in one under one blanket, I don't think it's a wise thing to do.
Yeah, but the weirdest thing is actually, like he said, it's like once they go out on their own, try to get their own stuff done, and they hit a roadblock, right? And something goes wrong, then they come back looking for him, right? Exactly. Then become this reverse thing. Then he also feels some kind of way. Should I help this guy out? Should I work with him or should I not?
Yeah, I think that's when I think your acumen as a businessman should come in. That's where you mirror the person, right? Because it's not as if
Squeeze
you're
them.
taking yes, it's not
Yeah,
as if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
taking revenge, but
Yeah.
then you make it clear that well, now where it has reached, I need to do more to get a
My
problem
services are
solved. So you have to
expensive.
pay more.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, fine. If you can't,
Yeah.
let's call it quits.
Yeah.
I think that, and if you remember in one of our discussions last time, I said that we have a problem separating cordiality with business, right? We always feel like, and I think that's where sometimes these disappointments come in. And I remember Stephen mentioned something related to that in our previous discussion, that when we do business based on word of mouth, we don't do business strictly business. Like this is a contract. This is what you must. This is your end of the deal. This is my end of the deal. We're always like, oh, we are Ghanaian. You are Ghanaian. I'm Ghanaian too. So definitely you can help me. And that trust is actually what affects our business transactions. So I think that like I will say again, we have to learn to separate. Yes, when we meet as Ghanaians, we'll have a chat. But when it comes to the business aspect, we have to learn to be able to see that as purely business, right? I'm friends with you doesn't mean that when we do business, I should let you gain 100% or I gain 100%. No, we must have a deal, and a deal is a deal. So I think that until we get to that point and we stop doing all this, or we are Ghana, me Ghana, anything, that's when people take advantage of each other.
Yeah, Mr. S. So, do you think you would go for, like, okay, let's say you have a choice, right? You come to China. Would you rather work with the local Chinese, or would you work with the Ghanaian who's set up here doing exactly what you
The
need
truth is,
somebody to do for
the,
you?
the sensible thing for you to do is go through your fellow man. That should be the sensible thing for you to do. You go
I'm
through.
sensing a but. A but is gonna come in soon, right?
No, the but is if you already have or you're already in contact with the Chinese already, then you don't need your fellow man, right? But if you're coming in new and you meet your fellow man and he tells you, oh, what are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can sort you out. I can help you. Yes, as much as you want to be careful, right? He's here to do business. So definitely he will end look of you. You understand? You should not worry about the look of you. You should just worry about, oh, can he actually lead me to get what I want without using any prejudice or whatever the word is. Just go in with your own people. But sometimes it is all about these rumors and this oh, I did a deal with this Ghanaian, I did a deal with this Nigerian, I did this. So okay, people prefer to stay away. Let me go straight to the source. Sometimes even me, from experience, a friend came to me like 3 months or 4 months ago for a deal, right? I did all the search and whatever, and this is what you raised, Leo, a few seconds ago. My mistake was I should have given him a fee for doing all that for him.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, okay, fine, whatever. I know how to get my deal, blah, 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 blah. The moment we got to the company, he jumped in, started talking and started negotiating for his own stuff, right? Just because I thought. So, so with this kind of experience, next time, the next person, you position yourself, you change the strategy, because he's cutting you, So for me, I like to take responsibility of my own mistakes and stuff. So it is on me. But it is some of these actions and experiences, sometimes you tend to make some comments and stuff, But yeah, I will go with my person first before I go with the Chinese,
Yeah, that's cool. But I feel the same way. But at the end of the day, my thing was like you said, it's just too harsh to say, well, I don't work with literally like people like you, stuff like that. Like you said, you can meet them up, talk to them. Like you don't have to work with them, right? But just like you said, courtesy. You can just be courteous, have have a laugh, talk to each other, walk away, move on, do your thing. But
sometimes I like to cut people the slack. It is the pain. It is the pain the person is carrying, Because imagine Imagine, because you've not heard the side of the story. Why do you feel like that? And that is another
Yeah,
thing.
it doesn't.
Hold
I
on,
don't
hold on,
really
hold
need
on,
to
hold on,
hear
hold
their
on, hold
side
on,
of the
hold on, hold on.
story. It's
But
just
no,
being
but
courteous. We've
no,
all
no, no, no,
been
no, no,
through
no, no, no,
certain
no,
things,
no,
and
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
go out
no,
there talking to
no,
people any
no,
kind of way.
no, I don't. There are certain things in life you don't put high standard on it. How to mix, or how should somebody feel or react? You don't put standards on it, because
It's not standard. That's
no,
their
no, no.
feelings.
Hold
It's
on,
fine,
hold
but you
on.
have to show
It's
respect and courtesy
exactly
to
what
people.
what.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, you are talking to me. You want us to do business. I just said I don't do business with your people. Why? Then if you explain, I'll know. Imagine, okay, let me give you a simple scenario. Maybe your last $10,000 or $20,000, you've invested in it, and your own fellow man has taken it away. How do you expect me to react if I see another person
You
from my
can
own? And
react
hold
any
on,
way you
hold on,
want, but
hold
like
on,
I
hold on.
said, you
Let me
asked the
finish my
question, and
point.
I'm trying to tell
No,
you,
I'm not finished.
you
I'm
can
not finished.
respond by saying, "Yo, I'm good. I already have a supplier, or I know exactly where I'm. I'm good. Thanks." That should be it.
I
There's no
would
need for
say
that language like I don't work with your
I would
people. You
say
can't. Your kind
I
of
hardly
people.
work. I would say I hardly work with my own people because of this reason. Everybody has a way of um, transmitting their frustration. You understand?
Everybody does, but there is a right way to do stuff and there's a wrong way to do
What
it.
is the
I mean,
right
we're
way to do
talking about
stuff?
speech, right? Anybody can tell you whatever they want. It doesn't mean it's okay or it's justifiable because this is the way they feel.
Yeah, it's his feeling.
This is why you said it some time ago, like you said, like freedom of speech is guaranteed, right? But freedom of after speech is not guaranteed.
No,
So it's
yes,
that kind
I
of
know.
thing. Everybody's held accountable to for what they say. So certain things are not necessary to say. You can say it in a milder way, and it shows more of your maturity then. Just
Nah,
showing, okay, this is exactly the way I feel. Let me just say what I want. It doesn't matter how the person feels, if they get hurt or not. I don't care, right? I don't think that's right.
I don't. I don't. That is yes. I don't. Whether you feel, you don't feel, I don't care. Yeah, no. I do understand the kind of, okay, there's a certain way. No, there's not a certain way, because the way I'm feeling, my reaction, if I right now I can tell you, when something happens, your reaction, you should not shout. But if I leave a rock or a huge glass on your foot, both of you, maybe Leo would scream and run around. That is not a good behavior. Sometimes when something hits you, you just hold it, scream a little bit,
No,
and
that
sit
is
down.
different. That is
No,
not
it's not.
hurting anybody's.
It's
It's
not.
not
So I'm
hurting
talking about
anybody's
you
feelings.
investing. No, I'm talking about, maybe I'm making an excuse for that person, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying. Imagine you investing a huge sum. That is your last money. You borrowed it from somewhere, and a group, somebody, it is wrong. I know it is wrong to, if you tell me, okay, it is wrong to actually generalize, then I'll agree with you, right? Then I would not challenge. But if you are telling me that he should not say that, don't generalize it to some extent. You can use the word some of your people, because this is my last money. The banks are after me, and this is the reason why I don't work. But not everybody can explain themselves. You understand? They'll just. But you also have to hear the other side. So the moment he told your friend should have asked him.
It's not about hearing the other side. Like I said, there's right and wrong. Because when he said that, the guy could also feel like, okay, I feel offended. I also start saying or hurling
Okay, at
insults
the end of
back
the
at the
day, me, I
person,
have
right?
my money, so feel
What's going to
offended.
happen, right? So if you say, no, it's not about just feeling offended. He could have said whatever he wanted to say, and probably that guy could have felt more offended. So that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
that we should all
could also
watch what
reply
we say.
to that person
It
telling
doesn't
me I
matter
don't want.
what you've gone through, right? Everybody goes through their own stuff, but it doesn't mean you have to take it out on the next person. That
It
is my
is
point that
easy
I'm
to
trying to
say
make.
it. No, but
It's not
it is
easy to
kind of
say. We all
corny.
go through
It
it.
is
You
kind
have
of
your problem. I
corny.
have my problem. Mr.
No,
Oz
no,
got his problems.
no,
We don't go out and just start talking to people
no,
some kind
no,
of way
no, no,
because,
no, 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 no. It
you
is kind
felt
of
hurt in the
corny.
past.
It is kind of corny to say that, because I don't know who actually approached who first, right? But like I'm
Mhm.
saying, me, from my point, if I was your friend, I would also ask, oh, yes, I know. And we all can admit it. We know our people, some of our people behave like that. We have our experiences. So why should I hide and pretend like, oh, why should you say that? Okay, why are you saying that? This is the reason. This is what happened. Oh, I'm sorry. But if you need a right source, it's me. You, Leo, you just said it. As a businessman, The moment the person comes, you know when to pinch the person and you know when to open up. That is a business strategy. You understand?
That strategy, I understand, but like I say, if somebody tells you that straight to the face, it's not something that you would even have that vibe or demeanor to be like, oh, why, right?
Okay,
Because it's very
then,
shocking.
then you are being
You
emotional doing
came,
your business.
it's not emotional. It's called
So you
respect.
see, so you see.
Now, if you would let me explain
No.
myself, because you've talked at length. My point that I'm making is that it's a business arena. You came to do business, so you have to carry yourself as such. It's not just onto the person who is delivering the service to behave in a certain kind of way. Oh, to go be like, oh, why? You don't need to ask why. You also got to come with a certain level of respect because it's a business arena. You know what I mean? So whether you've been hurt before, duped, ghosted, scammed, that is a personal thing. The guy providing his service, he's also doing his own thing in his personal life, right? Probably somebody also owes him money that hasn't paid, right? He's got his own problems too. But he's not gonna go, be like, well, what do you want here? You guys buy stuff, you never pay, like, get the F off. He can't say that. So that's what I'm saying. It's a mutual thing. Supply and demand. It goes both ways.
I think it depends on how
Right?
anyone would accept receive such a thing. Like me personally, if I hear something like that, maybe I won't go further to ask the person anything because at first hearing that immediately I'll feel stunned and I'll be like, okay, it's not worth it trying to convince this person to do business with me because they've already made up their mind. But there's also somebody who would have the patience to engage the person further and say, okay, yeah, I know you've had unpleasant experiences with other people, but why don't you try me? Just hear me out. So I think that the reaction to something like this could also depend on the kind of person. Some people are more, uh, it's easier for some people to be able to accept such statements and still engage the person. Whereas for some other people, it's a no. Once I hear that, I'm out. Right. So I think it will actually depend on the receiver of the message and how they are willing to handle it. For somebody who is maybe a calm, experienced business person, they might want to engage the person further. Maybe it's even an opportunity, right? But there are many other people out there who will say, okay, I also don't want to engage this person. So
It's
just let
true,
him
which
go.
is also
So
justified. Which is also justified. But for me, I'm telling you what I will do. I'll ask why. I will agree with your point
Oh,
because
it's
of my
fine. Yeah, I
experience.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, from your standpoint, I understand that. But my point is that I'm just calling this out to make people also understand that the fact that you are a
certain
customer
comment.
doesn't mean you're always right.
Yes,
You
certain
also have
comment.
to come with a certain level of respect. You know what I mean?
and you might actually be missing a big opportunity if you carry yourself around with this mentality
With
that
Exactly. That's my
I
exactly,
don't
point,
do
right?
business with black people. Yeah,
exactly. But you
yeah.
see that is why I'm saying that if the person maybe you just go up above, like you're saying, it's all about reactions, right? So he reacted because of his experience, and you are saying that no, even if you have this experience, you shouldn't react like that. You should also have the coat to kind of or be macho enough to take this kind of comments because you are in that field and you know what happened. So you should be above what the person is. Okay, I'm looking for business. This guy says this. Okay, I know maybe he has made up his mind, but let me hear him out. When he tells his story, I might not be able to convince him, but I will be able to tell him something that tomorrow he would have like a little room because that is how people open up, anyways, or change their mind.
Yeah, well, I do agree to a degree, but I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor, right? It's like it's almost like we've kind of made it a thing. Like the customer is always right, and it's like it's up to the service person to absorb all that BS, which doesn't make any sense. This like the buyer is always right syndrome. It's just annoying. It's like I said, everybody's got a point here about everybody trying to like do their best in a business arena to kind of comport themselves, show respect, and have like a nice harmonious business deal done. So in this case, I really think the guy who said that he doesn't deal with black people or whatever, I think he's totally out of line. I don't care what your pain is from the past, your experience. You just don't go into a business area and spew this kind of like BS. But
Somebody told me before we go. Somebody said to me some years back that these products are made in China. The people I sell to, they don't buy made in China stuff. After 3 years, 4 years down the line, she's on the plane in China
coming to China.
Now,
Exactly.
ordering and selling now. All the things she's selling, made in China, but the brands she wants to sell. So you see, I took my time to explain to her that, my sister, this and all the things you are looking for, it is made here, 90%. We know the factories, right? So don't be fooled.
Yeah.
You understand? I did not get offended. I should have. I got a little bit hurt and disappointed.
Why should you get hurt? Because I mean, it's not like you're Chinese.
No.
Buy
Listen,
from China. What is that got to do with you?
My disappointment is coming from the fact that she knows me. I'm talking about a family member, so she knows me.
Oh, okay.
And she know I will not mislead her, right? So maybe
she didn't trust you because you used to wear like jeans and cowboy boots in like 35 degrees weather. I mean, why would he trust you?
Like you say,
Yeah.
When they come back, you do the little thing. How did you say it? When they come back, you do
squeeze them.
You
meow them small.
Yes, that's the word. For meow them small.
Meow them small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, Mr. S got a big heart. All right, we're going to leave it here. We've talked long enough. So if you have any experiences dealing with people like that who just disrespect you for no reason because they think they have the upper hand, let us know in the comment section. We'll see you on the next episode. DLS out.
Peace.